Niagara in a key non-conference matchup. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Illinois State basketball. Here on Comcast, Kurt Pegler along with Bob Morris. This game is a rematch of last year's bracket buster game, won in New York by Niagara, a veteran team up and down, Bob, and they've got at least one guy who you like to refer to as the Energizer Bunny.
Tyrone Lewis. Tyrone is the Energizer Bunny. He makes them go. He creates excitement the second he gets off the bus and shows up for the game. He's averaging 14.5 points, but that just belittles his overall talent. He set the career record for them in their last game with the career three-point shots made, and he is 9 shy of the career steals. He does it on both ends. He brings it every night. He will be hard for the Redbirds to stop today.
Meanwhile, Dima Odiakosa, Redbirds' senior post player, seemingly gets better with every game. He already has a new career high in scoring this season, and he's coming off his first double-double of the year.
Yes, he is. He has worked very, very hard, as we all know, in the offseason to make a complete package of his game. He's always been known as the defensive threat that he is in making the first-team All-Missouri Valley defensive squad last year. This year, his offense has really stepped up. As you said, had a double-double in his last outing. He is second in the nation in his field goal percentage. First in the Missouri Valley, obviously, but second in the country. That is awesome. At 72.9% from the floor, he is a threat anytime he touches the ball now.
The Redbirds trying to start the season 8-0 for the second year in a row. That's never been done in school history. Stay tuned. The starting lineups in the opening teams in Normal, Illinois for the first time ever. A matchup between 6-4 Niagara and 7-0 Illinois State. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this matchup between the two schools. Osiris Eldridge, Alex Rubin, 6th consecutive start for the junior from Plymouth, Minnesota. Lloyd Phillips, the senior guard. Tony Lewis, the junior college transfer, and the senior post player Dima Odiakosa for Illinois State. Niagara is without perhaps its top player in Bilal Ben, who has a knee injury. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks, so they start Anthony Nelson, Tyrone Lewis, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the school's all-time three-point shooter. He just hit his 223rd. That is tops all-time in the school's history. Rob Garrison, Demetrius Williamson, a Chicago product who is typically a sixth man, now in the starting lineup, and Kashif Edwards at 6'6", 200 pounds. He's from Philadelphia. He will be the biggest body on the floor for Niagara. He'll be matched up much of the game with Dima Odiakosa. All right, Bob, let's take a look at what you believe are the keys to this afternoon's matchup between these two schools here in Normal.
Well, I think the first thing that you got to do is value the rock. It was a hard lesson learned by the Redbirds last year. They had 16 turnovers in the game. 15 of those turnovers were steals by the Purple Eagles of Niagara. So today the Birds have to focus on protecting the basketball, no question about it. The next thing that they got to do, I believe, is be very conscious of pressure on the perimeter. You have to go out and guard their guards because they will, and any of them, pull the trigger and let her fly. They've got 4 people on the floor today that average in double figures. Typically they have 5, but as you mentioned, the one young man is out with an injury. So you've got to really communicate with each other and get after them because they're going to pull the trigger. They love to shoot the three. The third key, I believe, is the Redbirds have to establish the post offense today. They have a definite size advantage and strength advantage inside, and we've got depth at that position, so the Birds have to be able to rotate people, get the ball in there when they are available, and take advantage of the advantage.
Just the second meeting between these two schools. We mentioned last February's bracket buster game won by Niagara in New York, 70-56. Tim Jankovic in his third season for the Redbirds, 56 wins and 20 losses. Of course, he has some great tutors, and Eddie Sutton and Jack Hartman, Kevin Stallings, Bill Self, and he has certainly been very successful in his first 2+ seasons here with the Redbirds. Earl Walton, Brian Dorsey, Joe DeMeo, the officials working this afternoon's game. Again, the Redbirds trying to improve to 8-0. Last year they started the season 14-0, so this would be their second consecutive year opening with 8 consecutive wins if they can get the job done. They just finished up final exams week. That's always kind of a draining week. You never...
This is because of a funky schedule of final exams. Some kids weren't able to be at practice, or some had to leave early. So, I mean, you're going to have days where you had 45-minute practices, days where you had 2-hour practices. So it's interesting to see how they're going to react today coming off of that schedule.
ISU in home whites with red trim and red numbers on the front. And Niagara's Purple Eagles in their purple uniforms with white and black trim. And Dima Odiakosa taps it back to Lloyd Phillips, and the Redbirds will have the first possession. We are underway here at Redbird Arena. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, here on Comcast, and glad you're alongside. There's Dimo Cosa in the paint and fouled right away.
There's that point we talked about in the pregame, Kurt, trying to establish an inside game. There was no doubt that was a set play for the Redbirds to come out, kick the ball inside after moving it and reversing it. We see it right here. There's Dima going up, fielding a good catch, or a good pass, I should say, from Lloyd Phillips, and the only way they can stop Dima is to hack him.
Special welcome to the folks in the Chicagoland area watching us. We're being seen all around the state this afternoon, and we are glad that you are on board for this matchup between the Redbirds and the Purple Eagles. Dima misses both foul shots, but Jackie Carmichael in the game with an offensive rebound, and Lloyd Phillips tries to shoot a three, can't get it. It's Odiakosa. Now it's going to be Eldridge. O's three is missed. Redbirds had a couple of cracks at the basket that time, couldn't get it done. Here's Niagara's first possession.
That's what you're going to see a lot from Niagara right there. Push, push, push. The ball's going to go down the floor in a hurry.
Williamson couldn't follow on that missed shot that time by Rob Garrison, so both teams had good looks at the basket, but didn't cash in on their first possessions. Man-to-man defense from Niagara, and a foul now on Lewis. This is an interesting matchup, isn't it, between Osiris Eldridge and Tyrone Lewis?
They have so many similarities that it's fun to watch when you get two good players like that. They both just set their schools three-point records in their last games. Last year, Lewis came out on top. He shut down one of 12 was from the floor against Niagara.
Osiris misses his second shot, but Dima Odiakosa is there to clean up, and the first points of the game go to the Redbirds. Snap pass inside. Edwards had a shot blocked.
Jackie Carmichael, the young freshman post player for the Redbirds, has got an amazing knack to be able to time his blocks.
Odiakosa had the ball knocked out of his hands as Eldridge tried to slip him the ball. Boy, Osiris really struggled last year in the game at Niagara. He was just, 1 of 12 from the field,
12,
I guess,
yes.
for 3 points at Niagara. I think you really got to tip your hat, like you said, to Tyrone Lewis, who guarded him most of the game.
Well, Tyrone Lewis not only is a three-point record setter, but he's also the steals. He's 9 shy of setting the school record for steals.
Jackie Carmichael down low scoring, so the Redbirds getting their points in the paint. They lead it 4-0. Here's Lewis. Down low, here's Williamson. Baseline jumper is short, hit the front of the rim, and it's Eldridge with the rebound.
Well, the Birds are doing what they also need to do defensively, and finish off a possession by getting the defensive rebound.
Osiris Eldridge with his first points of the afternoon. It's 6-0 Illinois State. Eldridge at 20.3 points per game. Right now he's the leading scorer amongst all Missouri Valley Conference players. Tough shot. That time wouldn't go for Anthony Nelson.
Good help defense once again by Jackie Carmichael.
Lloyd Phillips' pass is picked off by Tyrone Lewis. There you go. He's the steals guy.
Yes, he is.
Down the floor. Open three. That's in.
That is Niagara's game right there. Defensively, get the steal. Offensively, come down, pull up, drain a three. They will do that all night.
Tyrone Lewis averaging nearly 16 points per game. He had a school record 91 steals a year ago, and he really knows how to anticipate the pass.
Well, he had 91 steals a year ago to go along with 99 three-point baskets.
There is a nice seal job by Odiakosa. Caught the pass and laid it in. Nice pass that time from Phillips, too.
That's exactly right. You know, you can only catch it and finish it if somebody gives it to you.
We've played 3 minutes. The Redbirds have a 5-point lead. Here's Edwards. Tries to go around Odiakosa. He's successful. He scores. And we got a 3-point opportunity now.
The official there believed that not only did Dima get beat, he pushed him from behind in the process. I don't think Dima agreed with that. We're going to see him come right down the lane here on the right side, and yep, you saw the hand in the middle of the back right there. Officials do not let those go, and I think that's a good call, because when you leave the floor to go up for a shot, you're defenseless. And if you make contact then, you can really throw off a player's balance and create an injury. Obviously, no injury occurred on that one, but they're trying to do everything they can to keep the game clean.
And now it's going to be a turnover as Illinois State throws it away. Odiakosa and Rubin just having some miscommunication there.
Empty possessions, coaches refer to those as, where you have the ball and turn it over before you ever get a shot at attempt. It's an empty possession, and that's not what any coach likes to use in their vocabulary.
especially in the backcourt.
No, that's right.
Here's Lewis, guarded by Rubin. Tries to slip the ball down low. He does. Nice spin move by Gillette, who's in the game for the first time. That's Scooter Gillette. He's a freshman from Philadelphia, and he's tied the game.
Nice left hand on that finish right there.
Osiris Eldridge tries to answer with a three. He can't get it. Jackie Carmichael's over the back.
Well, both post players for Illinois State have a foul each. We'll see the shot taken up here by Osiris Eldridge. And we'll see Jackie Carmichael down the lower right fighting for position and coming up on the shoulder. No question.
Niagara can shoot for its first lead of the game. Williamson snaps a pass down low. Shot is missed. Ball is still loose. Nelson had a good look at it for Niagara. He can't get it. Another offensive rebound for Niagara. Underneath is Lewis. He flipped it up and in at 5'11".
Amazing effort right there. Niagara has fought back to take a 2-point lead. Crashing the offensive boards hard right there on that possession.
Yeah, just sheer hard on that offensive possession. Here's Eldridge. Osiris has just won for his first 5.
He seems to be pressing just a little bit, taking shots a little quick in the offense.
Williamson, top of the circle three, rolls off. And it's going to be a Carmichael, a rebound, and a foul on Niagara. That's going to go against Scooter Gillette. And we've got a timeout on the floor. The Purple Eagles of Niagara have a 2-point lead over the Redbirds. 10-8. We're just underway here at Redbird Arena, and you're watching Illinois State basketball here on Comcast. Niagara has fought back to take a 2-point lead, and this sequence really shows. They talk about rebounding, Bob, is more about being 6'8" or 6'9". It's all about heart. Here's a little guy, 5'11", Tyrone Lewis, somehow around the bigger guys getting a rebound basket.
He most certainly did. A lot of effort, a lot of heart, as you said. Also, Dima Odiokosa not wanting to pick up an early second foul had a lot to do with that, but you've got to be able to get position established and not let the little fellas get in there and get the ball.
Kellen Thornton is checked in the game now for the first time for Illinois State as Niagara shows a little bit of full court pressure here.
They're going to try to make it hard on the initial passes, and then, they're going to trap out of it too. When you're their size, this is what you have to do to equalize the game.
Phillips down the lane, flipped it up and in. Aggressive drive to the basket by Lloyd Phillips.
Good read right there. Attack the basket before the defense had a chance to get set up and established.
Phillips' first hoop of the game.
Phillips has made a couple of nice post feeds that resulted in baskets so far, and then a good take.
Off the glass is Gillette. He's got 4 points off that Niagara bench. He's shown a baby hook the last 2 possessions that they've had. Gillette has. He's gone one with his right hand and one with his left hand. Odiokosa tries to back in. Now it's Eldridge. Thought about the three, finds Phillips with 14 on the shot clock. Now it's Eldridge. Fadeaway three. That's it. Okay, right there. Again, little things. Lloyd Phillips had a shot, but it would have been a contested shot, and he made that one more extra pass to a wide open Osiris Eldridge, who knocked down and drained a three. That is the 3 Illinois State seniors playing catch with it back and forth there. Odiokosa out to Phillips, who finds Eldridge for 3. And a 1-point Redbird lead. Here's Williamson working on Thornton. A couple of Chicago products there. Yes, it is. Williamson played his high school basketball at Whitney Young. Thornton from Country Club Hills, Hillcrest. Here's Odiokosa. He got a good start to this game. Pump fake, got a couple of guys in the air. Dropped it down to Thornton, who laid it in. What a beautiful play. They knew they couldn't stop Dima one-on-one, so they brought help defense, and that left Kellen Thornton wide open. Good read by Dima. Now Lewis answers with a 3 to tie the game. And there's your all-time 3-point shooter at Niagara, tying the basketball game up. I know we've talked a lot about him and all of the accolades that he has brought to the Niagara program, but to throw one more out there, he was the conference defensive player of the year last year. So he's not just about his offense. He takes his defense very serious also. That's a good combination when you can shoot the 3 and play defense. Yes, coach's dream. 10 on the shot clock. Eldridge missed the 3. Long rebound out to Rob Garrison. Garrison is fouled by Eldridge right at midcourt. Oh, my.
Typically, that's not the type of contact that you're going to see create a foul call in open court situations like that. But we'll see it right here as they're coming down. They're pushing, Niagara's pushing the ball out. Cyrus cuts off and makes him change directions, and they believe that was enough contact to whistle the foul on him.
That's the first foul against Osiris Eldridge. He played 7 minutes, we're tied at 15. Here's Lewis, he may have traveled. Yes, he did.
We got an official right there that did what I would consider a major no-no for officials. He turned around and recognized one of the fans that hollered at him, which now is going to ignite several other fans, I got to believe. Let's just play basketball and not worry about the men in stripes.
Here's Thornton. Backs down on Edwards. Now he's going to try a little jump hook. Can't get it tipped in by Carmichael. He's been aggressive on the offensive glass here. The Redbirds post play's been very good early on.
Exactly. They're doing what the staff, I believe, has directed them to do. They're establishing some post looks inside early, and those post players that don't get the shot are not standing around and watching. They're going to the board to get the cleanup and get an offensive putback.
Odiakosa, Carmichael, and Thornton have combined for 10 of the Redbirds' 17. This is Austin Cooley's in the game for the first time, and he traveled.
Good defensive sequence right there. Good job by the Redbirds. We see Alex Rubin defensively is paired up today on Tyrone Lewis. That's why Alex is in the ballgame. He's going to give you anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes all out. And when you're being defended by Alex, it becomes difficult to score.
Phillips gets a screen from Carmichael, missed the shot. Thornton, offensive rebound, spins.
Purdy.
Can't get it. Purdy. Did roll in.
Great effort right there. He just wanted the basketball more than Niagara did on that one. Kellen Thornton, as you said earlier, Chicago area product, doing well.
4 points for Thornton. Free ball is in for Rob Garrison, who's a 35% three-point shooter. His first points of the afternoon. Eldridge's pass is tipped and stolen away. So Niagara just wants to run up the floor. Lewis's three, right in transition, can't get it. Thornton back on the defensive end. Here's Eldridge. Step away three again from the corner is missed.
Boy, here they come.
Yep, back up the floor. He's got a 2-on-1. Filling the lane as Garrison can't get it to go. Kashif Edwards offensive rebound. He can't finish. Carmichael there to clean up for the Birds.
Jackie Carmichael's done a great job today.
Eldridge down the lane, flipped it up, and rolled it. Tipped in by Thornton. And the Niagara bench wants a call, perhaps an offensive goaltending, but the officiating crew is not buying it.
No, they're not, and I think Coach Mihalik might have an argument there. From our angle, it looked like it was very, very close.
Redbird lead is now 3. Garrison, floater, missed it, and Carmichael comes down with it.
He missed everything. He didn't just miss the rim, he missed it all. There wasn't anything he came in contact with.
Thornton and Carmichael have combined for 10 points off the Redbird bench here in the first 10 minutes. Post play has been very good for Illinois State. Here's Thornton again. He's left open. He's going to try the 15-footer and short.
That's a shot that he's added to his repertoire this year, to that 15, 18-foot.
Nelson working on Osiris Eldridge. He draws the second foul now on Eldridge. And so he's going to get a couple of foul shots out of it. And we'll have some wholesale substitutions when we come back. Time out on the floor. The Redbirds have a 3-point lead, 21-18 over Niagara. You're watching Illinois State basketball here on Comcast. 9:42 mark here in the first half. Illinois State 21-18. Here's another look at that tip-in by Kellen Thornton. That was close.
I believe the Redbirds got a break on that, Kurt.
Kellen Thornton has played well off the Illinois State bench. We mentioned how well the post players have played. Thornton has 6 points. Jackie Carmichael has 4 points. Both those frontline players with 10 points off the bench. Dima Odiokosa is on the bench right now, but he has 4 points too. So the Redbirds obviously have made an effort to try to score inside, and they're doing it.
Well, and yeah, you're right. The effort is there, and the completion is there. It's obvious the Redbirds can have a dominating game inside today. They have 15 total rebounds, and 6 of those are on the offensive end. So when you can control that much of the boards this early in the game, you've got a decided advantage there, and it'd be silly not to try to go in there. And I think that's one of the big parts of the game plan coming into this.
So here's Anthony Nelson to the free throw line. He's a junior from Plainfield, New Jersey. When you look up and down at this roster, you see that this team, even though it's from New York, is really recruited from all over the place. They have a Villanova transfer, they have a Missouri transfer, they have a Connecticut transfer. So some guys who got obviously some major big-time looks. They've done very well recruiting in the East, but they're not afraid to go all outside their neck of the woods to recruit either.
And they've now gone to a 2-3 zone on defense. After the timeout, they've switched it up, and I think due to their lack of size, the Birds are going to see a lot of zone throughout the day-to-day.
Terry Johnson and Justin Clark in the game, as is Tony Lewis. That's an offensive rebound for Lewis.
Great effort by Lewis. He never took his eye off the ball. When it was shot, he saw it.
And now a steal by Lewis. And a jam. 4 consecutive points for Lewis.
Baby, talk about getting yourself pumped up and right back into the game, the flow of the game. Tony Lewis knows how to do it. Great steal. 2 back-to-back efforts right there by him that were just nothing but hard work and effort. Another Chicago product out there doing good things for the Redbirds.
Williamson over Lewis. That's in for 3.
That's another Chicago product. He just happened to be wearing the Purple Eagles uniform.
We mentioned that he mainly a 6th man last year, but stepping into the starting role this year and playing very well.
Well, he's in the starting role because of the injury to Belial Ben right now. But he obviously, when you got a 6th man that's averaging double figures, he sees a lot of playing time.
Here's Clark cut off on the baseline now, 10 to shoot. And a steal. And Clark got it right back. Now it's down low to Carmichael. He'll finish.
Clark made a mistake on the initial pass by forcing it, but he stayed with it. Created a turnover of his own then and got a steal.
And another steal for the Redbirds. It's Rubin to Lewis finishing. And he rolled it off, and it's Carmichael had it, got it back, put it up, couldn't get it, tipped around, and everyone gets it back.
That's too bad for the Redbirds.
Up and down action.
Yes, it was. Hard you got to finish those.
Garrison for 3. That's no good. Long rebound to Niagara. That's Cooley who's back in the game.
I think this is going to be the typical format for a game between these two. It's going to be up and down, fast-paced action a lot of the time.
Edwards nearly walked.
I think he kept his left foot down.
Williamson, double team. Shot rolls off the rim. Justin Clark comes down for Illinois State.
Jackie Carmichael just flying with reckless abandon like you would hope he would, getting rebounds everywhere.
He's been very active here in this first half.
Niagara has gone back to a man-to-man defense. They played the 2-3 zone one time only.
And they got a hand in the passing lane. Nelson had it, but he was picked from behind by Terry Johnson.
Good job of staying with plays defensively. The Birds have turned it over, but have gotten it back twice because they stick with it.
Lewis backs in on Williamson. Lost the dribble.
Good ball movement.
Johnson's 3. No good. Another rebound for Carmichael. Clark. Now it's Rubin chased to the corner. Johnson penetrates, scoop shot, no good. Offensive rebound, Lewis, and a foul.
Once again, Tony Lewis doing his thing under the board.
Net 5 gets a nice round from the Illinois State fans. They really had some energy on the floor there. 27-23 Redbirds. First we're going to see here is Lewis, Tony Lewis, right off the bench, made a basket, and just about before he could get back down to play defense, came away with a steal.
He wanted to get in the action right away. Didn't want to hesitate. Good for him. That's the way you do it.
Jackie Carmichael working the baseline, and Carmichael has played well. He slipped into the starting five right before the teams came on the floor. Tony Lewis to replace Lewis in that starting five, and he has played a whale of a first half with 6 points and 7 rebounds.
That's awesome. 14 minutes of play. The young man has done a superb job for a freshman. He's just been kind of a slow evolving process this year watching him. Typical freshman, kind of here today, gone to tomorrow, and now he's starting to get the consistency that the staff has been hoping for.
It's a freshman from Manhattan, Kansas. They're playing well for the Redbirds. We've got 6 minutes to go here in this opening half. We'll talk about some of the upcoming Illinois State promotions at the half with the Assistant Athletics Director for Marketing and Promotions, Brad Ledford. We hope you'll stick around for that. From the corner, Rubin's three is no good. Offensive rebound by Odiakosa. Another look for the Redbirds. Lewis over a double team. Side of the backboard. Tough shot.
Tried to force something there with 2 people on you. You got to kick that back out and find your perimeters.
Here's Williamson. His three is missed. Niagara with an offensive rebound. That's Edwards in traffic scoring. Sheaf Edwards, the sophomore from Philadelphia.
That's good, strong putback right there. Tony Lewis in error by not blocking him off, and he made him pay with a basket. Now Niagara switched up defensive, back into a... Well, it was looking like it. Yeah, it is. I think they're just running some man-to-man with some run and jump out of it. Trapping on the ball. Boy, they're energized. They do a lot of good things on defense that keeps you guessing. It is man-to-man, but they will trap on certain passes.
4 on the shot clock. Johnson had a shot blocked. Odiakosa got it back. He beat the buzzer and laid it in.
Just barely beat the buzzer, but that's a way to stay focused. And here they come back quickly.
Cooley left open for 3, and just like that, Niagara answered with a 3-ball.
They're back to within 1 point. I tell you what, if you don't play transitional defense and get back on a dead sprint and spot up and find their players, you're going to pay the price.
In fact, Tim Jankovic wants to remind his team to do that. He's called for a 30-second timeout here, I'm sure, to talk about transition defense.
But you better be well-conditioned also. If you're not in shape, they're going to make you pay.
Niagara is now 5 out of 9 from the 3-point arc, and quickly down the floor, and Cooley is left open.
Well, Cooley did a great job of getting out to the right wing and spotting up. And they got Tyrone Lewis pushed the ball right down the gut of the defense into the middle of the lane. And when you do that, you attract a variety of defenders, leaving your spot-up shooters wide open, and Cooley made him pay.
Now, this is a team that likes to shoot the 3, and this is a way that you neutralize your opponents when you don't have a whole lot of size.
Exactly. They understand their strengths and weaknesses and play to that.
Kellen Thornton is now back in the basketball game. That's him handing the ball off to Lloyd Phillips. So it's Phillips, Rubin, Clark, Odiakosa, and Thornton, the 5 on the floor right now for the Redbirds, who have the basketball and a 1-point lead.
With Austin Hill out due to an ankle sprain today, not playing, not available to play, you're going to see Justin Clark garner a lot of minutes.
Odiakosa missed the shot, had it knocked out of his hands and stripped out of Kellen Thornton's hands. Now Nelson brings it back for Niagara. Down low, it's Cooley. That's going to be a basket. Is that right? They're going to say goaltending. No foul on the play, just ball went in anyway, so give them the points. And the Eagles have a 1-point lead. Niagara 30, Illinois State 29 with 3:55 to go in the opening half. You're watching the Redbirds of Illinois State here on Comcast. Seldridge, who, as we mentioned, had a tough shooting game last year at Niagara. He was just 1 out of 12 in that game. Is 2 out of 9 to start this game. He has 5 points and is still on the Redbird bench.
With 2 fouls would be the reason he's on the Redbird bench.
Kellen Thornton, baseline jumper. That's in.
Again, I know I made mention of it earlier, but that is one of the areas that Kellen Thornton has expanded his game this year. He's stepping out and getting very, very comfortable with that 15 to 18-foot jump shot. And when he gets proficient at that, he is going to be a major asset to this ball club.
Cooley catch and shoot, and that's in.
Man, oh man, I am so impressed with what Niagara does with what they have. They move. They're well coached. Let me put it that way. This is a well-coached team. Joe Mahalik has been in the business forever, and he knows how to coach to the strengths of his team.
And Niagara back in front. Now it's Phillips. His three rims, no good. We are at the 3-minute mark left here in this opening half. Nelson nearly lost the ball. Got it back out to Lewis, who's been a little quiet since he went on a big tear to open the game. On the shot clock now. Nelson wants to go one-on-one with Alex Rubin.
They're going to get a high screen to try to get him doing something, going to the basket.
He's got a three. Rubin flew out and he banked it in.
Oh, my. You know life is smiling on you. The basketball gods are smiling on you, and life is good when you bank in threes. They make enough of those, Kurt. They don't need help. They make enough of them without banking them. They don't need luck to go their way.
And Niagara has its largest lead of the game at 4 points. Phillips. Now it's Justin Clark. Odiakosa double teamed as soon as he touched it. Thornton. He's going to shoot a three.
And here they come. They're on a dead run. They do a lot of screening out of that with their secondary break. If they don't have the initial shot, then they try to rub screen you on their secondary break and get a jump shot from that.
Reach-in foul on Kellen Thornton.
Kellen got caught not moving his feet. One of the cardinal sins of defense is that when you hedge and help, you got to move your feet and jump out to make the dribbler evade you. You can't keep your feet stationary and reach. Is what he did there, and he got called for the foul.
Williamson, three over Odiakosa. Missed it. Rebound, Alex Rubin. Knocked out of his hands that time by Lewis.
Well, he just never quits. Lewis is always thinking he can get to the ball. By knocking it out of bounds, it allows Niagara to set up some full court defense, which they love to do to you. Great pass.
Carmichael down low, pump fake, but blocked from behind. Odiakosa gets it back. Here's Phillips. Now Rubin. 7 on the shot clock. Phillips, pump fake, tried to flip it in. Knocked away. It's Justin Clark, but that's going to be after the horn.
Too much time trying to get something going there. Got to applaud Niagara's defense. Their man-to-man defense right now is a little quicker than what the Birds are, trying to get accomplished what they want on offense.
They recovered nicely when Jackie Carmichael appeared to have a basket down low. Under a minute to go here in this opening half.
Well, Jackie's got to catch that and go straight up more times than the shot fakes. Shot fakes don't get you much against good players because they're not going to go for it. In high school, everybody jumps. In college, Division I, they're not going to go for the fake. Not your good ones.
6 to shoot. Lewis, fadeaway three, rims out. Redbirds have a chance now for the final shot.
Even Tyrone Lewis's misses are close.
We'll see who gets the final shot here. Two seconds. Phillips down the lane. Floater, no good. And it's going to be to Carmichael.
What a great play. I have no idea if that was designed that way or if it just happened that way. But if I'm Lloyd Phillips, I'm saying we had that worked out. We knew all along what we were doing.
Jackie Carmichael jamming at the horn. He had 8 first-half points to go along with 9 rebounds. The freshman from Manhattan, Kansas, with his best 20 minutes of play to open a game so far in this young season. The Redbirds still trail Niagara 35-33, Bob. And here's again a look at that final play.
Well, look at how many defenders. There's 3 Niagara defenders on him, which left nobody on the help side, and Jackie Carmichael came in, read that, and got the flush.
Halftime here at Redbird Arena, 35-33, Niagara with a 2-point lead. Back to have a visit with Brett. Niagara leads Illinois State 35-33. Kurt Pegler along with Bob Morris. Let's take a look at some of the plays that shaped the opening 20 minutes of play here at Redbird Arena. Again, just the second time these two teams have met. Last year, Niagara won at Niagara. Cyrus Eldridge knocking down that jump shot, but he's had a tough go of it, hasn't he, Bob? Just 2 of 9 from the field.
Well, he got stifled with the second foul early in the half, and it's really limited what he's been able to do. And he's up against a tough defense too. Their perimeter defense is very good.
Meanwhile, Dima Odiakosa slips the pass down to Kellen Thornton. The post players, specifically Thornton, Carmichael, and Odiakosa, have carried much of the load for the Birds.
Well, from the shooting perspective, the 13 for 20, and you add those 4 together, they also have 20 rebounds. That's not a bad first half output.
There's that Tony Lewis steal. He had just checked into the game and scored a basket, ran down to play some defense, and was rewarded with a steal and a dunk.
Great effort, both the basket prior to and the steal.
And then right before the half, we mentioned the play of Jackie Carmichael. Lloyd Phillips floats him a ball. We don't know if that was a shot attempt or a pass, but either way it counts as 2 points for the Redbirds.
I think it's I trust my post players. If I can get 3 players to fly at me, which Lloyd did, then I trust that my post players will go get the ball if I put it near the rim. And, you can call that luck, you can call that instincts. I think they knew what they were doing. It wasn't a set play, but it was a basketball play that if you're on the hardwood long enough, you know how to take advantage of their lack of defense on the post.
I got you. Let's take a look at the first half statistics now. As you can see, the Redbirds shooting 41% to Niagara's 43%. But now we start getting into some big differences here. The Redbirds 1 of 11 from the 3-point arc, and Niagara 6 of 12. The Redbirds with no free throw makes in the first half, and the road team Niagara 3 out of 3. Big defense, or a big differential too there in the rebounds, about 26-15 in favor of the Birds.
Well, you would think by looking at the rebounds that the Birds would have an advantage, and they don't. They're down 2, but their 3-point shot attempts, 1 of 11. You've got to come back and balance that out by recognizing our strength of this game is going to be inside. Minimize a few of those, take half of those and put those, say, 6 more attempts on the inside, and I think you're going to see some of those adjustments made here in the second half, and I think you're either going to score the basket if you put those 6 more attempts on the inside rather than 3-point back. You get more points inside and or fouls or both.
And I think you've got to tip your hat to Niagara. They do a lot of the penetration. They kick out to 3. They've got their guys on the perimeter. They're very proficient at shooting that 3, and they know where to line up on the floor to get that assist, don't they?
Oh, they do. They know how to spot up, and they know that they can trust each other in what they're attempting to do. They know that somebody's going to penetrate and kick. They all have the green light. They got 5 players that love to shoot and 5 players that are going to shoot.
And they have a 2-point lead here at the half, 35-33. Niagara with the lead. Back with more from Redbird Arena at the half in just a minute. This is Illinois State basketball here on Comcast. Illinois State at the half here at Redbird Arena. Let's revisit those keys to the game that we brought you back and see exactly what's going on. Your first one, I know Bobby said that the Birds were going to have to value the rock. How's that going so far?
Well, I think the Birds have done a pretty good job of that. They've only got 6 turnovers, and I think they're taking care of things in that department.
All right, our second key to the game that we brought you prior to this tip-off against Niagara.
Well, we have, as our second one was we had to put pressure, we're going to go jump to the third one. I like that, okay, because this is a good one. I like this one. Establish some post offense. And with that, the 4 post players that the Birds have used inside today, Carmichael, Odiakosa, Thornton, and Lewis, are 13 of 20 from the floor and have a combined 20 rebounds. They're getting the job done in there. I think they need to get more 4 starters to play the way this group does, is they believe they're going to win. Whether they're on the road, at home, they've been there, done that in their minds. They've played in big games. So going on the road to unfriendly territory is not a big deal when you've got established players that have been there, done that, and know they can come out successful. This is a very good Niagara squad.
The Redbirds send their original starting 5 back on the floor to open the second half. That would be Osiris Eldridge, Alex Rubin, Lloyd Phillips, Dima Odiakosa and Jackie Carmichael. Again, as we mentioned, that he was put in the starting 5 right before tip time and did very well here in that opening half.
Kurt, another thing I'd like to point out is that I think this is another really good game to help the Redbirds prepare for the Missouri Valley Conference. This is a perimeter-dominated team, Niagara is, and that's what the Missouri Valley typically is also, is the strength of each and every one of the contending teams lies in their perimeters. This just makes the Birds more ready, I think, as conference play comes around the corner.
Rob Garrison, Tyrone Lewis, Demetrius Williamson, Anthony Nelson, Kashif Edwards, the original starting 5 for Niagara, will also come back out to start the second half. And they will have the basketball, the Eagles, with the lead to open this second half 35-33.
Redbirds haven't varied once the whole game. They are in their traditional man-to-man defense, and they commit a foul on a three-point shooter. Alex Rubin bumped him. And from our angle, there's no question that it was a bump foul while the shooter was in the air.
So Lewis will open the second half now with free throws. He's got some good athletic genes in his blood. His uncle John played for the Buffalo Bills in 1987.
He got game, as they say.
No doubt about it.
He got game.
There would be a lot of teams in the Missouri Valley Conference that would want him on their roster.
No question about that.
Rims the last one out.
1 out of 3.
Wow.
That's amazing. I believe he was right at a 70% free throw shooter coming into this.
Maybe he's one of those guys that would rather shoot the 3 than the free throw. Redbirds' first possession of the second half. And again, they go down low to Dima Odiakosa, and he's fouled.
And again, a set play. I believe it was the identical play they ran to start of the game with, the very first play of the game, and same result. Let's see if Dima Odiakosa can step up and knock down some free throws. We see right here, you have to honor Osiris as a shooter, and the defense, in honoring him, leaves the help side wide open for Dima. Great pass by O, as we see Dima knock down that first throw.
Free throws, certainly an area that Dima has worked on extensively, really the past 2 seasons. He recognized it as being an area that needed attention in his game, and he's a much better free throw shooter right now than he was a year ago, and even certainly 2 years ago.
No question.
And it's a 1-point Niagara lead as they bring the ball back up the floor. We're just 30 seconds into this second half. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, and our Comcast Sports crew here at Redbird Arena. I'm glad you're alongside of this Sunday afternoon. Here's Garrison. He's guarded by Eldridge. Now Lewis going to go one-on-one with Alex Rubin. Tough shot off the glass and in by Kashif Edwards. He shot it over Carmichael.
He earned those 2 points because that was well defended. Nice shot by the young man there. Niagara started the second half in a man-to-man. They mixed things up, particularly in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Eldridge, open 3, and that's in. That's an encouraging start to the second half for Osiris Eldridge.
I thought on the three-pointers, a couple of the three-pointers that O took in the first half, he forced the issue a little bit. Right then, you saw him step into the shot, got his feet underneath him, and it was an easy make for him.
Eldridge has moved now into 8th all-time on the scoring list for Illinois State. And there's another lane, that time down low. It's Edwards again.
Getting dribble penetration to where it attracts offside defenders and leaving people open then for the dump down.
Eldridge passed George Terry, who played here in the 60s, now into 8th all-time. There's a reach-in foul against Niagara.
Niagara foul number 30, Demetrius Williamson.
That's going to go against Chris Williamson. Demetrius Williamson, that's his second foul, and the second team foul against Niagara here in the half. Redbirds down by 2 here. And we've got a whistle away from the basketball. It's going to go against the Redbirds, it looks like.
Dima Odiakosa. That would be Dima's second foul. Trying to establish position that time. He got a little hands-on, too much so that they called him for holding.
Edwards around Carmichael, and a blocking foul on Jackie Carmichael. So Kashif Edwards has really come out and been very active here in the opening possessions for Niagara.
What appears to me that the adjustments by Coach Mihalik, as we see right here, is that they're going to take the ball right at the Redbirds big men and see if they can defend you one-on-one against the dribble. Right then you saw that Carmichael was a little slow and got the foul.
Tyrone Lewis with a three. He's now in double figures. Give him 12 points. His fourth three-point make of the game. Check that. That's his third three-point make of the game. 3 out of 5 from beyond the arc. Now Odiakosa answers down low with a jam.
Once again, great entry pass by Lloyd Phillips on that sequence right there. Dima did a great job to establish position, and Lloyd saw it and got it to him.
Garrison hangs, fires, missed the shot. Odiakosa clears for the Birds. Redbirds kind of looking for a spark to get things going here offensively. Alex Rubin, three. That might be it. He's tied the game with a three from the corner.
Once right there again, I'm going to say hats off to Lloyd Phillips. He didn't try to make something out of nothing. He said, let's get established here. We don't have a break. I'm not forcing a pass inside. And he loved the offense come to him rather than him trying to create something on his own.
We've got a timeout on the floor and a tie basketball game at 43. You're watching Illinois State basketball here. Alex Rubin really picked a nice time to knock down his first three-pointer of the game. He's left open in the corner, and he has tied the game with his three ball.
Did a great job of moving without the ball. Lloyd Phillips did a good job of finding him. Alex, as you can see, has his feet underneath him. Caught it, ready to shoot, so he knew he could get it off in time before the defense recovered, and boom, knocks her down. Good job right there. Let's hope that's the spark that gets the Redbirds moving.
Well, after making just one three-pointer in the entire opening half, the Redbirds have 2 3-pointers here in the first 4 minutes of the second half.
And they both have been good shots. They've had 2 3-pointers and a dunk. That's not a bad start.
And so we're even at 43. Tim Jankovich's team trying to improve to 8-0 on the season. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris with you here in our Comcast Sports crew in Redbird Arena in Normal, Illinois. It's the Illinois State Redbirds and the Purple Eagles of Niagara. Just the second meeting all time between these two schools. The first meeting was in a bracket buster game last February at Niagara, won by Niagara. That was a 70-56 decision, so the Redbirds are trying to even the score here. This is Lewis. His pull-up jumper is short.
Great defense right there by the Birds. Osiris put the finishing touches on it.
He missed the shot. Jackie Carmichael there. He's going to get another look at it. He's blocked but fouled. Gillette that time got too much of his hand.
I don't know how Tyrone Lewis didn't get his head stepped on. As many people that were jumping around, and he was laying underneath it. Right here, great take to the hoop by Osiris. Great follow by 2 Birds. You see them both in there. Carmichael stays with it until he can eventually draw the foul.
As you mentioned, Lewis fortunate that he didn't get stepped on, but also that nobody rolled an ankle. You know, sometimes when there's a guy on the floor, you land the wrong way, and suddenly you're rolling an ankle. Carmichael for the lead, and that's it.
Good looking stroke right there. First one was a little hard, came back, knocked down the second one, give the Birds the lead.
9 points for Jackie Carmichael. Redbird lead is at 44-43.
Birds have picked up the intensity on the perimeter defense.
Nelson left open, missed the three. Gillette tipped it in and was fouled for a 3-point opportunity. Scooter Gillette. He had a little stretch in the opening half, too, where he came off the bench and he really gave Niagara a lift. And he's got a chance to give his team a 2-point lead with a 3-point play. Here's the tip in, and we'll step aside. The Eagles lead the Redbirds by a point. We'll be at the free throw line when we come back. You're watching Illinois State basketball here on Comcast. Top players and just kind of mail it in. They are really wrong here because Niagara has played well and continues to play well here in the second half, Bob.
Well, Niagara is a grizzled veteran ball club. They're not going to limp in and accept defeat. This is a team that's going to fight you all the way, and the Redbirds are in a fight right here today. They're going to have to play well to try to finish this one off and get a W, but it's not going to be handed to them. This is a well-coached veteran ball club from Niagara.
Playing without Bilal Ben, the Villanova transfer, who was out with a knee injury for a couple of weeks. He's the guy that scored 17 points and had 12 rebounds against the Redbird last year, an all-conference player from a year ago, certainly the team leader, but right now, Niagara with a chance to take a 2-point lead here in the second half. They've played very well even in his absence.
Well, again, a veteran squad knows how to pick up the slack when something of that nature happens. We're seeing a little half-court 1-3-1 action here. They're going to try to trap out of it. See how the Birds handle this. 1-3-1 is a unique zone that you don't see a whole lot of.
Rubin a three from, he's now hit threes from the left corner and the right corner. The Redbirds have a lead of a point.
And that's why you don't see a lot of it, because it gives you wide open shots if you move the ball quickly on the baseline. And that time Rubin was the recipient of good ball movement, and he knocks down another three.
Redbirds were able to pass the ball over the top of that zone and get it on the other side.
Exactly. Birds have stayed in their traditional man-to-man defense. They're not going to vary. It's unusual that they vary from it anyway.
5 on the shot clock now. Lewis had a shot blocked. Osiris Eldridge, and there's 2 on the shot clock now.
I think this is where Osiris is focusing his energy in this second half. I believe the staff at halftime challenged him to play defense, because that's where they need it, is perimeter, or they need perimeter defense to slow down the Niagara offense.
See if Niagara gets a catch and shoot. They do. They got a pretty good shot that time from Scooter Gillette. He just couldn't finish. But the Redbirds made sure that it wasn't Lewis that took that shot, nor Garrison.
Niagara gets right out of the zone and goes back to man.
Osiris Eldridge, the 3, missed. Long rebound to Lewis. Back up the front court. That ball is tipped and stolen away. Kellen Thornton comes away with it.
Good hands. I didn't see who got the hands on it, but it was somebody got a deflection, and it resulted in a turnover.
Now Phillips, he's going to try a 3. Can't get it. Tipped around. Controlled by Niagara. Quick hands that time.
Here they come on a dead sprint.
It was Nelson who came away with the rebound. Lewis, the 3, is missed. Odiakosa now with 8 rebounds to go with his 10 points. He's looking for his second consecutive double-double after a 16-point, 10-rebound effort against Central Michigan on Saturday of last week. Near steal and a foul that time. It's going to be Lewis. Just a little bit too aggressive.
He tried to rely on his quickness to make up for his lack of height, and he was quick all right. He got in there, but he also got a hold of the arm.
Austin Cooley and Kashif Edwards come back in now for Niagara. They send Gillette to the bench. Also Rob Garrison. No, check that. Garrison is still on the floor. Anthony Nelson also to the bench. So a 1-point Redbird lead, Illinois State with the basketball. Phillips got that pass to Alex Rubin, took his eye off it just for a split second. Ball's out of bounds, and it's a turnover. Niagara gets it.
Again, an empty possession. Coaches hate that phrase when you're talking about their team. Not even a shot attempt, and those hurt.
Garrison sneaks the pass into Edwards. Again, Kashif Edwards has been very active offensively here in the second half.
Well, his quickness, when he does get the ball in the paint area, his quickness has created some foul issues for the Redbirds. We see right here, the pass is in the middle. He attracts a crowd, and they squeeze him to the point they call a foul.
Edwards is a 50% foul shooter, 20 of 40 on the season entering this game. Now in double figures. Well, there's your 50%. You make one, you airball the second.
Oh, my. Was that shot by the same person? Those two free throws?
Hard to believe. Nonetheless, he has played well. In fact, his career high is 12 points. He's got 10 here this afternoon, so he could equal a career high in the next basket. And we're even at 47 as we approach the 13-minute mark of this game. 13 minutes left in regulation here. Here's Eldridge. Now Thornton. He's going to work the baseline. Here's Rubin. He's got a couple of big three-point makes here in the second half. 6 on the shot clock. Lloyd Phillips trying to create. He's bumped at the three-point line. He's going to get 3 free throws out of the deal.
That was very good basketball intelligence right there. Lloyd Phillips knew that the clock was running down, and he gave a shot fake, and as soon as his man got in the air, he knew that let's draw the foul. We see the replay here. See Kellen Thornton coming out, set the high screen. They switch on it, so he knows he's got a post player on him who's not used to defending a perimeter player.
Well, that's a senior play when you talk about a guy in Phillips who's 5'10". He's being guarded by a guy 6'5" on the perimeter. And a little pump fake action there, that's going to make it happen.
I thought it was a 3 attempt. Obviously not. He gets 2 throws, makes them both.
Off a nice screen roll there, but that was going to be a foul against ISU. A foul on Dimodiokosa.
Oh, my.
We were kind of screened from the play there for a moment. It looked maybe like it was going to be a turnover, but instead it's a foul against the Birds. Here's a look from our baseline camera.
Yeah, see right here, both hands up, squared to the basket. Well, from that angle, it kind of looked like the pass led him out of bounds, but there was a little nudge, no doubt. There was a little nudge there.
So that's personal foul number 3 now on Odiokosa, who takes a seat on the Redbird bench. Here's Lewis, down the lane, rolled it in.
He just muscled that thing in through there. They've got about 4 different players that at any point in time can get a shot off of their dribble, and that's a real asset to have in any offense.
Foul on Garrison as he was bodying up on Osiris Eldridge. You're going to see this foul here on the perimeter.
They call a foul out there, and the finish was worth watching. Good replay. But it doesn't count.
We are even at 49 as we approach the 12-minute mark left in this one. This one's shaping up to be a fantastic finish here. Justin Clark back in the game. That's him with the basketball, handing now to Eldridge. Clark giving Alex Rubin a little breather. Here's Carmichael. Lost it momentarily. Got it back. Hand scored from underneath the basket.
He reversed in midair. Came up and under the rim. Great finish. What an athletic move for someone of his size.
Double figure game now for Jackie Carmichael, who has 11. He's got 12 rebounds. What an afternoon he's had. Ball is loose and out of bounds, and it's off of the Redbirds. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Illinois State leads Niagara 51-49. Back with more hoops here from Redbird Arena. This is ISU basketball on Comcast. Jackie Carmichael in his second career start. The freshman from Kansas playing very well here, Bob. Watch him just change hands and change a shot from underneath the basket.
Kind of loses the grip on it, and boom, goes up and under. What a very athletic move for someone 6'8", 240.
Well, he was a track star in high school, too, a sprinter. When you take a look at him, you think, okay, he's likely a basketball player, but you wouldn't think he's got the quicks that could be on a track team, on a relay team.
Yeah, he can move that weight and that size. He gets it up and down the floor very well, and we saw right there he's very agile with it all also.
Anthony Nelson, Kashif Edwards, Austin Cooley, Demetrius Williamson, and Tyrone Lewis are the 5 on the floor right now for Niagara. Kellen Thornton, Osiris Eldridge, Lloyd Phillips, Tony Lewis, and Justin Clark, the 5 for Illinois State. Niagara with a basketball, the Redbirds with the lead. Backdoor play. Lewis is fouled. He flipped it up, though. Well-run play there out of the timeout.
That was ran at about 110 miles an hour also. Very quick, very fast. We see it right here. Boom. Precision in the passing. Precision in the cut. Third foul on Osiris Eldridge.
2 shots.
Cyrus had the foul trouble in the first half. He picked up 2 fouls early. He only played 11 minutes and now has his 3rd foul here at the 11:20 mark of this second half.
Lewis knocks down both, gives him a total of 16, I believe it is, for the day.
And we are even at 51. Eldridge dribbles through a double team now as we approach the 11-minute mark left here.
Set up a little half-court, three-quarter court zone trap and then fall back into a man-to-man from it.
Phillips. Now it's Clark at the perimeter. He's going to give it up. There's going to be 10 on the shot clock now. Eldridge going to try to create down the lane, off the glass and in.
Very much under control.
Nice to have that as a safety valve when your shot clock's running down.
Well, again, you got Phillips as a senior and Eldridge as a senior out there that don't panic when the shot clock gets down in around 5.
Eldridge now in double figures with 10 points. That's the 13th consecutive game dating back to last year that he's in double figures. And there's Kashif Edwards. What a second half he's had.
He is just powering the ball up and in from that low position.
Edwards now has tied his career high. He's got 7 points here in the second half, 12 for the game. Eldridge flipped it out now to Phillips.
Kind of a wild pass. If it had been online, we'd have had a shot attempt, I believe.
Roy Phillips misconnected there. He was trying to find Thornton.
Right idea. Just off target a little bit. Just inside 10 minutes right now. This is when you find out about some of your players at this point in the game.
Three attempt. Williamson is in.
No question. I mean, they got everybody can shoot the three. No one hesitates. They all have a green light. They run plays for a variety of people to get the three. You can't be 2 steps off of them because they're going to let her fly.
Second 3-point make of the game for Demetrius Williamson, the senior from Chicago. And now a 3-point lead by the Eagles, 56-53. Here's Lewis. Kick out now. Phillips, pump fake, stepped inside the arc, hit the jumper.
Great shot fake, good ball movement to get it in a position to be successful. And here they come right back.
Lewis, a 3 to answer right up the floor.
Eldridge was slow getting back and finding his man. He had to come clear across court, but I mean, that takes an extra effort. You've got to understand that. Lewis burnt him.
And Tyrone Lewis, who had 19 points against the Redbirds last year, now has 19 again here, and that's going to be a nice basket by Justin Clark. Quickly back down the floor. Lewis, same spot, a 3 again from the same spot on the floor.
He is just on fire, and they're loving him. Niagara bench explodes.
22 points now for Tyrone Lewis, who is 5 of 8 from the 3-point arc.
And the Birds have ran everybody they know at him today to try to defend him. And it's, like you say, it's 22 points. I don't think they're defending him very well. We talked about that being one of the keys to our game, is putting pressure on the perimeter. And we can see right here, they know that he can get down the floor faster than the defense can get to him.
Now the Redbirds are getting a first-hand look at why this young man has the school record at Niagara for 3-point shooting. Here's that nice play to Justin Clark on the back door from Lewis.
Very good cut, good pass, led him right to the hoop.
And that could be a big basket for Justin Clark, who has really struggled here in his opening weeks as an ISU Redbird. Just 1 out of 21 from the field coming into the game. He's really a 3-point shooter, but sometimes you need a layup, you need a short basket to kind of get that thing going in the right direction.
Well, and he's also had to deal with some foot problems and foot issues, and when you have injuries to your feet, it's going to affect your shot. I don't care who you are. He has to work through those. Their injuries are part of the game.
Here's Eldridge with Cooley on him. Spins on the baseline, hangs, flipped it up, can't get it. Tipped. Redbirds maintain possession. Lewis had a shot blocked. Edwards got his big hand on it.
They're going to shoot it again.
Lewis, another 3. No good. On the floor. Niagara came away with it, and the foul's going to be on Kellen Thornton. Right now, the Purple Eagles are beating the Redbirds to every basketball.
Yeah, the loose balls are going their way, and when breaks like that happen, it's usually because you create your own energy and get to the ball. The Birds have got to dig deep down now and find that extra little niche, that little energy. They got to get a spark. Because Niagara's got the spark, but there's 8 minutes left in the ball game.
So even on a rare Lewis miss, things go the way of Niagara as they get an offensive rebound and an opportunity to score at the free throw line, which Austin Cooley just did. They are now in the bonus. Cooley is from Bethesda, Maryland, from Chevy Chase High School. Off that second free throw that was missed, it's tipped around and controlled by the Redbirds. Kellen Thornton is fouled in the backcourt now. That's really a bad foul by Anthony Nelson of Niagara.
Long ways away from their end, defensively speaking, and to commit a foul like that, that's kind of silly.
Here's how you can sometimes earn a little extra time on the floor. Hustle play, Justin Clark tips the ball, goes over the table, comes back into play just as Kellen Thornton's being fouled in the backcourt.
You know, you always hear coaches say, you do the little extra things, you'll get rewarded by more playing time. That's an example of the little extra things right there. Staying with a loose ball, keeping it inbounds to a teammate, whether you go over the scorer's table or not, doesn't matter. Do whatever it takes.
And that's not going to show up in the official stats, but the coaches,
oh yeah,
they watch game film all the time, and they keep stats like deflections and things like that, and hustle points, and that's certainly going to get some pats on the back and some hustle points there for Justin Clark.
Yes, it will.
Meanwhile, it's one in bonus time now for Kellen Thornton. Missed the free throw, but Odiakosa offensive rebound, so the Redbirds get another look at it. Ruben's going to try a three.
That's good. Oh!
Rimmed out, tipped out. Redbirds get it back. Now it's Eldridge. He backs up in the corner. He fires a three. That's no good. Redbirds had 3 looks at the basket that time.
Yes, they did. Came away with nothing. It's not going to be easy. But there's a lot of time left at 7.5 minutes, and the Redbirds are going to have to dig deep down to find a way to get the job done if they intend to do it today.
Nelson going one-on-one with Osiris Eldridge now with 9 on the shot clock. Slips a pass behind his back. Out of bounds, it's off the Redbirds. There's 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Nelson to trigger. Williamson over Thornton. Hangs, fires, missed it. Long rebound, tipped out, controlled by Garrison. Williamson fire up another 3 from the same spot. Airballed that one. Out of bounds. It's going to go to Illinois State.
That one, the second three-pointer by Williamson, I would question whether he should have taken or not. That was not what they needed with the lead. And little things like that cost you opportunity to score, come back to haunt you. Let's see if the Redbirds can take advantage of that.
ISU trying to carve into a 6-point Niagara lead. Eldridge drops it down to Odiakosa. Double team, looking for help. Now it's Clark. 2-man game here. Odiakosa back out to Clark. His 3 in, big shot.
Oh my. Let's hope that opened a can of worms for that young man, because he is a machine when he gets it rolling.
His second,
got the crowd rolling.
Yeah, and his second 3-point make of the season. He needed that one. Niagara answers right back. That's a shot that rolls in from Edwards, who now has a new career high with 14. 5-point Niagara lead, 6 minutes to go. Here's Eldridge. He's going to go back down to Odiakosa. Spins on Edwards. Had a shot blocked. It's going to be a held ball. The possession arrow favors Illinois State.
Diva put a quick spin move on him, reversed under the rim, and he was there waiting for him when he got to the apex of his jump. Good defense.
Nice round of applause for Justin Clark. After that made 3, he goes to the Redbird bench, and Lloyd Phillips comes in. Now Phillips. Looks inside. 6 on the shot clock. Odiokosa in the paint. Spins off the glass. No. Hit a shot partially blocked. No, they're going to say it wasn't untouched.
He lost it as he went up on the spin move. He reverse pivoted as he had to go up with his left hand. He lost the ball and it went out of bounds. Got nothing out of it. Now they got to dig down and get another stop, the Birds do.
Good defense again by Niagara. Bringing the ball back down the floor with a 5-point lead. Here's Lewis. 3-point threat. Down the lane, and he scores.
Makes it look easy off the dribble. I said earlier, and I meant this, and I don't know if some people understand the importance of being able to get your shot off your dribble. And they've got 4 different players that can do that at any time.
And now Osiris Eldridge loses the ball out of bounds. Nothing there for the Redbirds as well.
Birds are limping right now, no question about it. How do they handle it? That's what you got to find out. They're down 7, 5 to go.
Here's Lewis. He has 24 points this afternoon. Now Williamson. He's not afraid to shoot it from out there either. Garrison guarded by Phillips. 10 on the shot clock. Now Nelson.
They're using all of the shot clock on every possession.
Working on Eldridge. Off the glass and in. What a tough shot that was.
My. Build it to a 9-point lead. 4.5 minutes. If the Birds are going to get back, they've got to do some things here in a relatively short period of time.
Here's Odiokosa inside. Missed the shot. Off of Nelson and out of bounds. No, they're going to say it was off of off of Dima and out of bounds.
Well, the Birds have gone away, and you got to give some credit to the defense of Niagara from getting the ball inside in a position with which they can score. They dominated on the paint in the first half, and it's not been that way in the second half.
Niagara shooting 48% for the game. Making tough shot after tough shot. Here's Lewis with another tough shot. That one won't go. Back to get it is Jackie Carmichael.
Strong rebound by Carmichael that time. 2 hands, very muscular in the attempt.
Redbirds really need a basket here, but Rubin is picked off. Lewis was trailing the play. He came back to get it. He's looks like he's been poked in the eye or something, because now a whistle. He's going to need a little attention here, it looks like. He was trailing the play, and Rubin lost track of him,
He went down on the rebound attempt, and then, as you said, was trailing the play, and Rubin completely lost track of it, which you can't do. You got to know where everybody's at, particularly as a perimeter player. You've got to have that court vision.
And now there's an official's timeout, so we'll step aside. Niagara 69, Illinois State 60, with 3:33 to go. You're watching Illinois State Redbird basketball here on Comcast.
Julie, look what's new at McDonald's.
You can get a quality iced mocha and a caramel latte.
Or a vanilla cappuccino, all your favorite flavors, including hazelnut at great prices.
Get breakfast, lunch, or dinner, plus your favorite specialty coffee with only one stop.
Quality, value, and McDonald's speedy service.
Here you go. Thanks.
Can I have mine with a lot of whipped cream?
You don't need a lot, Bob.
Okay, just a little, Jules. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
Evenglow, offering a continuum of retirement choices and services in a Christian environment.
It's been almost 12 years ago since I came to Evenglow. And I certainly appreciate the security and the hassle-free life that Evenglow offers their residents.
At Evenglow, you can take part in a wide range of activities and social events, or simply take a quiet walk through our lovely grounds and gardens. Independent living, lifestyle by design. Call today or visit us online. Evenglow, a family of friends.
At Clay Dooley, we are not just your home for the highest quality, most affordable tires. We pride ourselves in bringing you the finest auto servicing in the area. With our state-of-the-art diagnostic tools and equipment, we can service all makes and models, foreign and domestic.
We come to Clay Dooley because of the great people here, the wonderful service, the dependability, flexibility, and great prices.
At Clay Dooley Tire and Auto, drive with confidence.
Welcome back to Redbird Arena. Niagara has a 9-point lead. Tyrone Lewis has come up with some big shots. Demetrius Williamson, Kashif Edwards. And here it's Anthony Nelson with good defense really there by Osiris, but he took the shot clock down to about 3 and then scored off the glass.
They have ran that shot clock down on the last 3 possessions to where they have taken the shot within 5 seconds from the shot clock expiring. So, again, as a veteran ball club understands, on the road when you have the lead, you use the clock. You run down the shot clock. You eat up the game clock by running that shot clock down and taking shots inside the 5-second mark. So this is a veteran Niagara club that even though they're down 1 player, they know what to do. Birds it's going to take a Herculean effort, I think, by the Redbirds to pull this out.
They got to make up a 9-point deficit here with under 3.5 to go. Garrison being guarded by Phillips with 5 on the shot clock now.
Again, they're running it down, and he shoots a layup, and
missed it. And here comes Lloyd Phillips. Quickly up the floor, all the way down. Nobody stopped him with the left hand. He can't get it to go. Tipped up by Odiakosa and in.
Timeout
by Tim Jankovic.
That's a good push and get something from it. That's what the Birds needed right there. They got to stop defensively, got a quick push, quick basket, close the gap in just under 3 minutes. Here we see Phillips bringing the ball in a hurry right down the heart of the lane. And there's 2 Redbirds to finish it off. Dima gets his hands on it.
And now the interesting thing that you run into, Bob, is we mentioned how Niagara just likes to push the ball up-tempo, up-tempo, up-tempo. And now they're trying to down-tempo and use as much of the shot clock as they can with every possession. So this is kind of against the grain to what they typically use.
Well, it's definitely opposite of what they've done to get the lead. But I'll go back to what I keep saying. Veteran ball clubs know how to finish games out. And they understand the importance of letting that clock run down rather than push at this point in this stage. Right now, their intent is to eat as much of that game clock up. They're on the road, but they got the lead. So they know what to do with it. It's just whether they do it or not. Can they execute? They've given us no indication at this point that they can't. It helps when you have ball handlers, and they've got a lot of them.
The ball's going to be in this man's hands much of the final 2.5 minutes of the game. Anthony Nelson, he's a 78% free throw shooter. And he's a guy that typically doesn't turn the basketball over.
Big possession right here, I think.
Garrison, pump fake, foul on Phillips with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock.
No reason to be in the air.
Number 12, Lloyd Phillips. That is his first team foul, 9.
And now the Redbirds are staring down the face of the double bonus. That's their 9th team foul. So the next foul against Illinois State puts Niagara in the double bonus.
We see the replay right here. The shooter is at the disadvantage. As you said, 3 seconds left. He was 2 steps behind the 3-point line. Absolutely no reason to go for him. Now they step up. They get to shoot 3 free throws. Unguarded. And he's a 73% free throw shooter, too.
Garrison is the transfer from Connecticut. He is from Niagara Falls, played at Niagara Falls High School, so playing now for the college team in his hometown. He had limited playing time at Connecticut for 2 years, but now is a big part of this Purple Eagles offense.
I'll go back, correct myself. He did not get 3 free throws because they said it was not in a shooting mode.
Here's Odiakosa, the miss, and cleaned up by Kellen Thornton, and another timeout by Tim Jankovic.
Way to crash the boards right there by Thornton. Good job.
So now with 2:11 to go, it's a 6-point game. And you know that now it's a chess match here. It's defense for offense, it's free throws, it's playing the clock.
Well, as we see right here, the Birds got a quick hit inside the Odiakosa. He misses off the back of the rim, but there's Thornton to clean it up with the 2-hand putback. You're right, it becomes a chess match at this point. Purple Eagles are up 6 points, 2:11 left in the game. You got to believe that this is their game if they finish everything off. The Birds are going to see what they can do to disrupt that with throwing some pressure defense at them trying to make them take contested shots, things of that nature, and or turn the ball over. And then they have to come down and get some quick hits. Redbirds don't have the luxury of running much time when they get the ball on offense.
Tony Lewis has now come in the game for Illinois State. He replaces Dima Odiakosa. We approach the 2-minute mark. The Redbirds going to try and trap.
Run and jump. Got a 5 count going. There's a 5-second call. Great in one-on-one defense by Lloyd Phillips that time, and by the 2 off guards, because they didn't allow the pass to be made. They took away the passing lanes. Good team defense.
Yeah, that's a part of the game that sometimes doesn't get recognized, is that a lot of times the 5-second count happens because the defenders off the ball are doing such a great job.
Exactly.
And now a steal. Phillips was looking for Thornton, but the ball is on the floor, and somehow Alex Rubin comes away with it. Redbirds fortunate there. Now it's Osiris Eldridge. A 3 from the corner is missed. Long rebound is still unclaimed. Finally, it's Garrison that comes away with it. He and Rubin tie it up. And they're going to say a timeout for Niagara. So they gave possession to Niagara and then granted a timeout to the Purple Eagles.
That appeared to be a jump ball scenario, but obviously they said that the Purple Eagles had possession.
And right now the possession arrow does favor Niagara. Here's that last sequence off the missed 3 from Eldridge. This is where the ball is just a scramble.
We see it. Right there. Does he have... There's... Whoop. And at this point in time, there's a timeout being taken and being called to the out official by the Niagara bench. It wasn't the player that called the timeout.
It was the bench.
Correct. Had that shot gone down for Osiris Eldridge, this place would have been up for grabs. It would have been a 3-point ball game and anybody's ball game then. Now, the pressure's still on the Redbirds. They've got to not only get stops, they've got to score them and get that deficit down in a hurry.
90 seconds to go. 6-point Niagara lead. And the basketball.
And they have no intentions of going to the line. Going to the basket, unless it's going to the free throw line, which they're going to do right now.
Austin Cooley is going to get some free throws. The foul is going to be on Lloyd Phillips. Cooley is 1 for 1 from the foul line here tonight. He is just one. He's now just 2 of 4 for the season, so not a guy that's accustomed to going to the free throw line.
Boy, shot that with poise.
There's a lot to be said, and you've mentioned it a couple times here, Bob, when you've got a veteran team that's not rattled, that can kind of smell blood in the water. When they, you get to that 6-7 minute mark left in the game and you're still in it and you have the lead, you start smelling blood.
Yep, you expect to win, so you start doing the things that create winning opportunities. Protecting the ball, things of that nature. Getting defensive rebounds, all of those things, little things add up.
Back to an 8-point lead now for Niagara. Eldridge going one-on-one with Lewis. Around Lewis, scores off the glass.
See, now that they're content to just trade baskets because the Birds have to come foul if they don't get a steal, and they believe in their abilities to be able to knock down free throws.
Blocking foul is going to be whistled against Eldridge. That'll be the 4th on Osiris. Right at the timeline. So with 58.3 seconds to go, it's again free throw time for Rob Garrison.
Again, I'll go back and repeat what you said earlier, that this young man started his career at UConn. If you started your career at UConn, you're a high-level player. Even if you're no longer there, you are a high-level player. And they've got 3 transfers that all started at a very high level.
Villanova, Missouri, and Connecticut. That's not bad company to be in.
No, it's not.
Garrison makes good on the free throws. The Redbirds again chasing an 8-point deficit. Here's Rubin's 3 is no good, rolls out, and controlled by Niagara. And certainly the Purple Eagles feel real good about the position they're in right now with an 8-point lead and free throws coming at 48.9 to go.
Well, and again, you know, we talked earlier about how the Redbirds were such a dominant rebounding team in this game, and now in the last 2 to 3 minutes, all of a sudden that's kind of taken a turn. The Redbirds haven't gotten that offensive putback very often. They have occasionally, but now again, it's a veteran team from Niagara that knows when to go get that board.
Well, the Redbirds are 6-0 in return games in the Bracket Buster. In other words, the year after they play a Bracket Buster opponent for the first time, the rematch, the Redbirds are 6-0, but they certainly have their work cut out for them in the final 45 seconds here if they want to make it 7-0. Phillips down the lane, changes hands, off the glass, tipped in by Odiakosa. Timeout, Tim Jankovic.
Timeout, Illinois State. A full
This is going to be a full timeout here.
Well, they're taking a full timeout. Obviously, they had what to use, so they're going to use that to set up several sequences in the remaining 37 seconds. It's not just talk about the next time we have the ball or they have the ball. It's several sequences on what to do if this happens, if that happens. And that's what the Redbird staff is right now, going through a quick review of things of that nature, how to finish out the remaining 37 seconds to their best advantage and get this thing to where there's a chance to win at the end.
And we want to remind you that our next televised game here on Comcast will be with the Redbirds on Wednesday night on the road. The Redbirds have had some home cooking here for a couple of weeks, but they're going to venture on the road and play Ohio University, and we'll bring that game with you. Joe Mahalik, he has 2 NCAAs and 2 NIT appearances since the 03-04 season, and certainly high expectations for this team off a 26-win campaign a year ago. Reach-in foul that time on Alex Rubin, so a quick foul by the Birds. And this is one, I'm sure they circled this game on their calendar and said, you know what? We're going to get a game in Normal, Illinois in December that's really going to be a barometer of where we could be at. And I would say that Niagara has passed this test.
Oh, you think? I think they've far exceeded the passing of the test. I think they've aced the test.
And this young man, Tyrone Lewis, has been the best player on the floor here this afternoon.
No question about it. He's an outstanding player. Uses his multiple skills in a variety of ways on both ends of the court to not only make himself a good player, but to make his team better.
And the senior from Levittown, Pennsylvania, with a 26-point effort here on the road. Off the missed shot, Alex Rubin had the ball out of his hands and out of bounds, and that's just kind of the way things have gone for the Redbirds here this afternoon.
Alex believed he got pushed on that one. But you're right. That's the way things go when you're down and you're behind. And there was a violation that went uncalled on that one. That was an out-of-bounds play, not a made basket. On that out-of-bounds play, that was not a made basket from the Redbirds. Therefore, the person putting the ball in bounds, you cannot move. That young man took 2 steps before he inbounded it as if it had been a made basket. That's a traveling violation, and it should be the Birds' ball underneath their basket.
Boy, when things are going really well, they're going really well for Niagara. And when things aren't going so well for the Redbirds, it's all coming down, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Don't forget, we'll hear from Tim Jankovic immediately after the game and get his thoughts on this basketball game. It'll be back to the drawing board for the Redbirds, who, as we mentioned, will have to go on the road for a midweek game at Ohio. Phillips misses the 3. Rebound was out of Odiakosa's hands in the final 15 seconds here. Long pass ahead to Cooley. They're going to run some clock. The Niagara Purple Eagles will be 2-0 all-time against Illinois State. They'll improve their record to 7-4. They've come to Normal, Illinois, and impressively beaten the Redbirds on their home floor, 76-68, handing the Redbirds